All right, so welcome to Vodia PBX, how to optimize your mobile device with Vodia PBX. So today's workforce, customers use a mix of devices, desktop phones, cordless phones, smartphones, cell phones, tablets, PC. Typically more than one device can be used with the Vodia PBX. Device twinning is a key feature for your customers. Use the best device at any time, fixed device in the office, at home, mobile device, when in the car or off-site. Mobility and productivity. Nearly all employees have cell phones today. Let's use them. Stay connected anywhere, anytime. You're connected wherever you go. Admins can easily add mobile numbers to the PBX on the fly. Remote users can work from home or office. Users can enjoy the benefit of all the features Vodia PBX has to offer. How it works. Cell phones can be associated with extensions, similar to SIP VoIP phones. They can be used to receive and make phone calls. However, the call is not routed natively, routes through a SIP network. The cell phone typically uses a mobile phone standard like GSM or CDMA. The setting for the cell phone allows you to configure one or more cell phones to your extension. Now, some of you might have not known that, but you can put two cell phone numbers on the redirection on the cell phone, and it will ring both of the cell phones or landlines. Cell phones integration is different from having two phones registered to the same extension. Registering two phones at the same extension allows you to merely receive calls at one or two locations, while cell phone integration allows you to receive calls at any location, as well as be reached at numerous phone numbers. Cell phone configuration allows you to be accessible at all times, even in the event of a power failure. If the office extension or remote extension is disconnected from the system, calls will automatically be sent to your cell phone. Once the phone is reconnected, incoming calls will automatically be rerouted to your extension. How to set up your mobile device. As some of you might know and already become expert with the Vodia PBX, you'll navigate to redirection and scroll down to cell phone. Here you put your cell phone number. If you want the feature for controlling your incoming call, you need to turn on offer special menu when a call is answered on the cell phone and set this to yes. This feature will give you the ability to control your incoming call. The VPA, as you guys know, is a virtual private assistant, will ask the user a series of questions on how to handle your incoming call. As you can see, this feature will be useful for ACDs and hunt groups as well. Handling the incoming call. So when an incoming call is coming into your cell phone, a user can press 1 to connect the call. Then you'll continue your conversation. Until then, the caller will continue to hear ringback tone. So if you don't press 1, the other side will hear ringback, and then possibly just go to voicemail. If the user presses 2, the call gets rejected. The PBX will then apply the rules when the VoIP phone would send a busy signal. In this case, it won't be sending a busy signal, it'll just go straight to voicemail. And that's what they will hear. Upon pressing 3, the PBX will send the caller to voicemail. When pressing 4, the system will prompt the number to redirect to. The number must be terminated with the pound key. Now, I use this a lot, especially on the route to work or going home. I get a support call. So I have these options on how to handle the call. So this is extremely useful. I use it every day. I encourage you guys to use it. I encourage have your customer use it as well, or sell it as a feature for them. When pressing 5, the call gets parked as if the user accepts the call and then dials the park star code. So in this case, when you press 5, end user will hear music on hold. When pressing 6, the call is added to the list of the callback number. This is useful to stack up numbers that can be called back on the way home from the car. Now, just to generalize, you're probably wondering, okay, when do I hear these prompts? I added a trailer on the webinar. So basically, a call comes in, you will hear the virtual private assistant give you these choices, and these choices are the one I'm talking about here. You will hear these choices: press 1 for this, press 2, press 3, and press 4, etc. If you press the digit 0, can be used if the operator account has been assigned to the domain. This is typically an attendant that takes care about incoming phone calls to the domain. So if you don't want to take the call and you have an auto attendant sent, or you have a receptionist that can take the call, you just press 0, and that call will be transferred to her. And this is the cheat sheet. We have this on our website. You guys can download it. You can show your customer how it works. Basically, this is what I went through with our other slides. So if you press 1, you accept the call, and the call is connected. The other option is to press ##. When you press ##, you'll hear a beep, and that beep will give you a series of options. So it will tell you press 1 to dial a number, and press # to confirm. Once that call is connected, so now you have one call that's on hold when you press ##. That call is holding, you're hearing music on hold, and you made a second call. That second call is connected. Then you have another option. You can confirm whatever you need to confirm with the second call, or you need to connect these two calls. So you press ## again, and you'll get that option again. It'll say press 0 to resume the call, press 1 to dial another number, press 2 to transfer the call, press 2 to conference the park calls. So you have two calls on park. They're both hearing music on hold. Conference the two park calls, those two guys are talking. Press 4 to bridge the park call, so you'll be a part of that call. And then press 5 to use the callback list to add another call, let's say, to the park list. So, and then of course you have press 2 to transfer the call, and press 3 to use the callback list. So this is a different scenario, but 0 through 4 would be the scenario you would be using if you wanted to either bridge a call, or conference the two calls, or transfer the call to another party if it doesn't get to, if you don't want to call another person. Let's go to, all right, let's talk about DISA, direct inward system access. The basic idea behind DISA, call through solutions, enabling an authorized corporate user outside the office to make calls using the organization's special low tariff, and to capitalize on the direct connection to the different operators. As a result, the company saves up to 40% of the original direct calls. Many of our users use this. I'm 100% sure you guys use it as well, to save some funds, or have your customer save some money with this feature. It's very useful. The great thing about this feature is that you have control of the costs using the trunk rates. We've added a new feature which is not available on the latest and greatest right now. It's basically called call me back. It might be called something else before the release, but I'm calling it call me back because that's what it is. So the way it works is the extension, the cell phone will call the system, and the system will say, the system will call you back, or please hang up, I'll call you back. Then within a series of 5 to 6 seconds, the PBX will call you back. Then you can make your direct, your DISA call to save you more time. I think of it as a shortcut. So it's not added yet, but it will be added on the next 2 upcoming versions. So I spoke about the VPA, what is a virtual private assistant, and just to give you a roundabout what it is. Once a user's cell phone has been configured as part of the extension, the system will recognize the user when the user calls into the system from that phone. Instead of hearing that auto attendant, the user will hear the personal virtual assistant, which will be presented to the user with a new set of prompts. These prompts allow the user to make outbound calls, receive call back, go to voicemail, and go to the auto attendant. Now, I've touched on that in a couple of slides in the beginning, and just to give you a little knowledge on the VPA. And this feature has been around, particularly back from PBX and SIP. And you guys need to use it, utilize it, have your customer use it as much as possible, because it's a great feature. And it's something you can sell as a package to them as well. How do you turn on the VPA? In the redirection of the extension, navigate to cell phone and choose from the drop-down. When this cell phone calls the PBX, in the drop-down, choose Offer Personal Virtual Assistant. Now, this is found under the cell phone redirection. You guys know where it is. You guys are pros. Once you activate this, then you'll hear the VPA. And if you wanted to do a DISA, you need to activate this so that you can make your calls that go through the PBX, so that you can save money on your mobile device. DISA and features. So basically, this is the way it works. To make an outbound call, you have to enter your access code. And the access code is basically the PIN found in the extension level. Enter the destination number followed by pound. And the call will be terminated to the trunk, and your call will be established. If you want to receive a callback from the PBX, you answer the phone. You'll answer the phone and enter the outbound number and press the pound key. So it'll ask you either you want to make an outbound call or you want to call back. This is what you'll do. You enter a number. So if you're in a hotel, at a bar or something, you give that number and it will call you back. And of course, go to voicemail. You can access features from the voicemail system, for example, into the feature code. So this is kind of a hidden feature as well. Not many folks use it, they don't know about it, but it's possible to activate some features on the PBX using the feature code from your cell phone. And this can only be accessed if you go to your voicemail from your cell phone. So for example, it'll say, welcome to your voicemail. If you want to do this or want to do that, press 1, press 2. In the course of the virtual private assistant talking, you can interrupt it and press pound, *67#. So looking at the feature code list, this will block your caller ID. Some of these items will work and some of them won't work because they won't apply to the scenario. But in the case of a voicemail or logging in, logging out as an agent, you can do this through the phone as well using the feature code. And then again, you can press 4 to go to the auto attendant, and then you hear your auto attendant prompt. So again, just to go over the DISA feature, when the VPA is turned on. 1, you can make an outbound call. 2, if you press 2, you receive a call back. Press 3, it goes to voicemail, and 4, it goes to auto attendant on the DTMF tab. So here are some of the conditions. The setting defines what the system should do on incoming calls. It can either offer the personal virtual assistant or just apply the general rule for routing inbound calls. In case the private virtual assistant is enabled, the PBX offers the following options. So if you press 0, if there are 1 or more parked calls on the option 0 will resume the call. This is if there's a parked call on the system, you can retrieve that parked call on the system. If you press 1, the call starts a new outbound call. If there are no parked calls, the system asks for a callback. This is important when a call from the PBX to the cell phone are significantly cheaper than the other directions, or when there's user using his private cell phone for business purposes. And just to touch on that note, once you make an outbound call using the virtual private assistant, it's a great feature because it'll use the caller ID of the business or of that user's ANI if it's set up correctly on the trunk level. If there's one park call, offer the possibility to transfer the call. Again, if there's a park call on the system that you know about, or a colleague, hey, I have that person on the park, you have the possibility of picking it up or transferring it. If there are no park calls, you go to mailbox. If there are more than one park call, offer the possibility to put the call into a conference. If there are no park calls, go to the auto attendant in the domain. This can be used for the dial internal numbers. If there are two park calls, it offers the possibility to connect the two park calls. Call the next number on the callback list. If the account has a credit for outbound calls, it can be retrieved with this option. So you have many features that you can control on your system. Many of them you might not use, and some of them you will use. And this is the condition for them. So let's go to the next one. Okay, so this is the Vodia phone. I'm not sure if you guys know about it or who have used it. It's on a Google store. It runs on Android 5.0 on Lollipop, and it uses the WebRTC protocol to receive and to make calls. And this concludes my presentation on the cell phone feature for the Vodia PBX. Thank you.